Be working on Unit 5 for grammar, and it is about adverbs. And we've already talked a little bit about adverbs, but now we're really going to get more in depth. So please make sure that you have your guided notes in front of you so that you can be filling them in as you get more information about adverbs. The very first thing I want you to know is that adjectives and adverbs do the same job. They're modifiers. We already know that adjectives are modifiers. But adverbs are the same thing. They're giving us more information about a different part of speech. Adverbs have more jobs, actually, more things that they modify than an adjective does. An adjective only modifies a noun. If you break it down, it modifies nouns, proper nouns, and pronouns. But adverbs modify three completely different parts of speech. Verbs is the big one. It's got verb right in the name, adverb. And then also adjectives. And then other adverbs. An adverb can modify another adverb. So I'm going to give you some examples. The girl ran quickly. You'll notice quickly is describing ran. It's saying how she ran. And we know that ran is an action verb, so that makes quickly an adverb. Okay, let's look at another sentence. The extremely intelligent boy solved the problem. We know intelligent is an adjective. It's telling us what kind of boy. And extremely is describing intelligent. It's not an extremely boy. That doesn't make sense. It's extremely intelligent. And so extremely is an adverb. And the third sentence, he sang very loudly. Sang we know is an action verb. It's something somebody does. And loudly is telling how he sang. So loudly is an adverb. And very is telling us to what extent it's loud. It's very loud. He sang very loudly. So if you've got something describing an adverb, it's an adverb. All right, we've talked before about the 4 questions that adjectives answer. We have 5, really 6, completely different questions that adverbs answer. So the first one is when. Like, when did it happen? It happened today. It happened yesterday. It happened last night. Where did it happen? In the classroom, at home, behind the desk. Why did it happen? How did it happen? How often did it happen? And to what extent? Those are all adverb questions. Adverbs that describe verbs can move multiple places in the sentence without ever changing the meaning of that sentence. They're very versatile. So take a look at the example from earlier, the girl ran quickly. You could also say the girl quickly ran. You're moving quickly in front of the verb now, and it still makes perfect sense. Or you could take the word quickly and move it to the complete beginning of the sentence, and then a comma comes after it, and it still makes sense. Quickly, the girl ran. All of those quicklies are describing the verb. When an adverb can move around in the sentence, it's always modifying the verb. Let's take a look at how you diagram. So because all of these quicklies are describing the verb, they're going to be exactly attached right under the verb, because whenever something's modifying another word, it has to attach to it underneath. So if you're looking at the first sentence, the girl ran quickly, it's going to look like this. You've got girl as your subject, ran as your action verb, the is the only modifier for girl. It needs to be capitalized, and then quickly is saying how you ran, so it'll be right under there. And then this sentence as well would be diagrammed exactly the same way. There's no way to show whether that adverb came in front or after the verb, just from looking at the diagram. The third example, however, would be different if you were going to diagram it. You would have to uncapitalize the, because it's not capitalized in your sentence anymore, and then you would have to capitalize the Q in quickly. That's the only difference. The words go in the same place because, again, all those quicklies are modifying the word ran. That only works with adverbs modifying the verb. It doesn't work if it's modifying an adjective or an adverb. They will go with the word that they're describing. And we'll take a look at that next. So I already showed you how to diagram the first sentence, so let's look at the second sentence. So the second sentence says, the extremely intelligent boy solved the problem. Make sure that you have parsed the whole entire sentence, because you know what all of those words are now. And take a look at the basic sentence diagram. I just have not added the adverb yet. So make sure you get all that down as well. And then we've already talked about how extremely is not modifying boy. So it cannot attach to boy. It's not an extremely boy. That doesn't make sense. So extremely is modifying intelligent. So you're going to do, it's kind of like a square corner, but I'm going to call it a dog leg because it's like the hind leg of a dog. And it just comes right off of intelligent. You're going to have to make that straight line and the square corner so that you can show that extremely is modifying this and it's not going to run into it. Make sure you're doing a square corner and not some other weird looking thing. And then write in extremely modifying intelligent. And that is what your adverb will look like on your diagram. All right, and then let's take a look at the third sentence. He sang very loudly. Make sure again that you have parsed the whole entire sentence. You know what all of those things are. Hopefully you remembered he is a pronoun. And then we're going to take a look at how you diagram it. You should make sure you put in your verb first. Who or what sang? It was he. He sang how? Loudly. Loudly is one adverb. You just put it on a straight line, just like you do adjectives when they modify the subject. But now I'm going to show you how you do an adverb that modifies an adverb, which is basically just exactly what we did. You're going to use another dog leg, but this time it is very loudly. So it's not very sang. It can't attach to sang. So it's going to have to dog leg off of loudly, and you're going to put very right there. All right, as the last thing on your guided notes for adverbs, I want you just to put an example diagram and just kind of make lines where different things can go. So you know the action verb is always going to be right here. That's your verb. And then you know your subject is always going to be over here. Your subject's going to have to be a common noun, a proper noun, or a pronoun. And then you've got your adjectives, which are modifiers off the subject. Remember, you can have a prepositional phrase as a modifier. And now that we're going to start doing adverbs, we're going to put prepositional phrases that are modifying the verb on this side as well. Okay, you can also have an adverb that's coming straight off. You might just have one adverb, or you could have an adverb describing an adverb, or you could have an adverb describing an adjective. So just pause this and get all of those down so that you can remember where everything goes on the diagram.